Enchanted English, Chapter 1, Lesson 1. Welcome to the third season of English with Justino. We're calling this and the third season Enchanted English because the stories are going to be a little different. They're going to follow a familiar story, but I want things to be a little simpler for you to understand. I'm going to ask a lot more questions with answers along the way, and also switch tenses and points of view for you to learn the material faster. As always, you can follow the transcript in the YouTube channel. You should recognize some of these characters from our last story. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's get started. Dorothy lived in the Great Plains of Kansas. Dorothy lived on the Great Plains of Kansas with her Uncle Henry and Aunt Em, his wife. They were farmers, and they lived in a very small house. The house had only one room, and there were not many things in it. In the house, there was a table, a cupboard, 3 or 4 chairs, and 2 beds. The only window overlooked a small garden. But when Dorothy looked out the window, she didn't see any trees or flowers near the house. The grass was not green, but gray. Everything in her life was gray. Everything was very sad. Uncle Henry and Aunt Em worked all day. They started very early in the morning, finished late at night, and never laughed. Despite this, Dorothy was happy because she had a friend. Her friend was a black dog named Toto. He had long hair, bright eyes, and a short tail. The dog and the girl ran and played every day. They were the best of friends and understood each other without words. One day, something very strange happened. Uncle Henry and Dorothy, with Toto in her arms, were in the yard. Uncle Henry looked up at the sky from the door of the house. "Look what's happening," he told Dorothy. Dorothy saw the sky darken. It was no longer blue. She was startled by what she saw. Suddenly, a storm started. Uncle Henry yelled at Aunt Em, who was in the house. "A cyclone, Em! A cyclone is coming!" A cyclone is like a tornado. Aunt Em ran out of the house to protect the cows and horses. "Hurry up, Dorothy," she said. "Go to that house and stay there." "I have to help Uncle Henry." Dorothy was scared and she ran into the house. Toto jumped out of her arms and hid under the bed. He was also afraid. Then, something terrible happened. The cyclone lifted the little house into the air and carried it far away. The house was flying away very quickly, and Dorothy did not know what to do. She started to cry. Time passed, minute by minute, hour by hour, and she finally fell asleep. Answer my questions as if you were Dorothy. Dorothy, do you live in the Great Plains? Yes, I live in the Great Plains. Do you live on a mountain? No, I don't live on a mountain. I live in the Great Plains of Kansas. Where do you live? In the Great Plains. I live in the Great Plains with my uncle and aunt. Do you live with your uncle and aunt? Yes, I live with my uncle and aunt. I live with my Uncle Henry and my Aunt Em. Do you live with your father and mother? No, I don't live with my parents. Actually, I don't have any parents. I'm an orphan. I live with my uncle and aunt. Who do you live with? With my uncle and aunt. I live with my uncle and aunt. My Uncle Henry and my Aunt Em. Your uncle's name is Harry, right? No, my uncle's name isn't Harry. What's your uncle's name then? Henry. His name is Henry. My uncle's name is Henry, and my aunt's name is Em. Your name is Em? No, my name isn't Em. My name is Dorothy. Whose name is Em? Your friend? No, my friend's name is not Em. That's my aunt's name. She's the wife of Uncle Henry. Who is Aunt Em? Is she Uncle Henry's sister? No, Aunt Em isn't Uncle Henry's sister. She's not his sister. She's his wife. Is she his wife? Yes, she is his wife. Aunt Em is Uncle Henry's wife. Who are you? Henry's daughter? No, I'm not his daughter. I'm his niece. They're my uncle and aunt. That means I'm their niece. What's your uncle's name? Henry. My uncle's name is Henry. Dorothy's aunt and uncle were farmers and lived in a tiny house. Your uncle and aunt are farmers, right? Yes, they are farmers. Who are farmers? My uncle and aunt. Uncle Henry and Aunt Em are farmers. Only your Uncle Henry is a farmer? No, not only my Uncle Henry. My Aunt Em is also a farmer. Are your aunt and uncle manual laborers? No, they aren't manual laborers. My aunt and uncle are farmers. What does Aunt Em do for a living? What field does she work in? She works on a farm. She's a farmer. My uncle and aunt are farmers and they live in a tiny house. Do your uncle and aunt live in a house or in an apartment? In a house. They live in a house. Do your uncle and aunt have an apartment? No, they don't. My uncle and aunt don't have an apartment. They have a little house. What does their house look like? Is it big? No, it isn't big. The house is small. My uncle and aunt's house is small, even though we live there together. Do you live there together or separately? We live together. I live together with my uncle and aunt. We all live together. Where do you live? Do you also live in the house? Yes, I live in the house. I live in my uncle and aunt's house. The house also belongs to me. We're a family. What does your house look like? Is it small or is it big? Small. Our house is small. Our house isn't big. What's small? Your apartment? No, not our apartment. We don't have an apartment. Our house is small. Oh, you have a house, right? Yes, we own a house. So all of you live in the house? Yes, all of us live in the house. Dorothy lived in the Great Plains of Kansas with her Uncle Henry and her Aunt Em, Henry's wife. Dorothy's aunt and uncle were farmers and lived in a tiny house. The house where Dorothy's family lived had one room. Do you have a two-room house? No, we don't have a two-room house. The house has one room, just one. How many rooms are there in your house? One. Our house has one room. There's only one room in our house. Where is there a room? In our house. In our house, there is one room. The room is very small. Where is the room that we're talking about? Is it in a hotel? No, it's not in a hotel. It's in my uncle and aunt's house. The room is small and there aren't a lot of things in it. Are there a lot of things in the room? No, there aren't. There are not many things at all. How many things are there in your room? Very few. There are very few things in our room. Are there a few things in your country? No, not in my country. There are a lot of things in my country. The name of your country is Kansas, right? No, it isn't. Kansas isn't a country, it's a state. What's the name of the country? The United States of America or the United Kingdom? The United States. The name of the country is the United States. Where is Kansas? Is it in South America? No, Kansas isn't in South America. Kansas is in North America. Kansas is in the United States of America. Inside Dorothy's house there was a table. Is there a table in your house? Yes, there is a table in our house. The table is in front of the window. Where is the table? In front of the window. The table is in front of the window. There's also a closet in the house. Are there 3 cupboards in your house? No, there aren't 3 cupboards in our house. How many cupboards are in the house? 1. 1 cupboard. There's only 1 cupboard in the house. The cupboard is to the left of the table. Where is the cupboard? To the right of the table? No, not to the right. The cupboard is to the left of the table. There are also 3 or 4 chairs in the house. Are there 3 or 4 chairs in the house? Yes, there are 3 or 4 chairs. The chairs are around the table. Where are the chairs? Are they behind the cupboard? No, they aren't behind the cupboard. The chairs are around the table. Do you know how many cupboards there are in the house? Yes, I know. 1. There is 1 cupboard. And how many tables are there in the house? 1. 1 table. There's only 1 table in the house. Is there other furniture in the house? A bed, for example? Yes, there are. There are beds in the house. How many beds? 1 or many? We have 2 beds. 1 bed for me, and another one for Uncle Henry and Aunt Em. So, how many beds do you have in total? 2. We have 2 beds total. The house where Dorothy's family lived had 1 room, and there weren't many things in it. There was a table, a cupboard, 3 or 4 chairs, and 2 beds.